Probably seems like I'm spending a lot of time on this Beetle. And that's because if you look at the Pilot Institute website, I keep seeing more and more FAA hobbyist regulation.
Welcome to another video talking about this time recreational flying. And the FAA, this is the middle of July of 2021, the FAA put out a new document that you need to be paying attention to. And I mean it. This is something...
Yeah. So anyway, you get the point. And it's just getting worse and worse. Now, I have a Part 107, but still, I don't do a whole lot of work for any kind of payment. My channel is not monetized. So I don't want to see that hobbyist sector of the drone industry become almost extinct, because I think there is great potential for young people to learn about engineering, electronics, aviation, computer coding, software. And I think it's a shame that the FAA wants to rip that away, or just make it so difficult that a lot of parents will be like, you're not getting a drone. There is just too much liability and risk. And anytime you see anything about a drone on TV, it's always doing something bad. So it's like, drones, ooh, they're bad. They're spying, they're carrying weapons, or they're transporting drugs or something. Anyway, so I think these little under 250 drones, and this one especially, has great potential because they're not going to be as heavily regulated. You're still going to follow rules, but they're not going to be as heavily regulated. So what I did to this one was I went on the TransTech website. The last video I changed these props. These are 2012s. I had 2025s on there. I was getting a lot of jello. I went to the 2012s. The jello was almost non-existent, but it was very slow. And I like to be able to go faster if I can. And I found this Bardwell tune on the TransTech website. Joshua Bardwell, the tune. And so I thought, that guy knows what he's doing. And we will try that. And I'm going to also use a 4S battery. I normally fly this with a 3S battery because I have a bunch of 3S batteries. Now I have one 4S. So that's what I'm going to try today. So I had some trouble with that CLI dump, and I got my Speedy B adapter there, but Speedy B only comes with a micro USB cable. So I had to go back home. Then I went back to the park and it was pretty sunny out. So with the 4S battery, it's definitely a lot faster. And that's good. The tune that I put on, the JB tune, I didn't change all of the settings and the filters and all that because I kept having trouble getting the drone to arm. So there was something in that CLI. I really didn't feel like I had time to go through it line by line. So I just copied the PIDs. And I'm not sure if that really made much of a difference or not. They were definitely different PIDs. It's hard to tell if it really made a difference because I was flying on a 4S battery and I normally fly this drone on a 3S. So I think I'm fine with these props, this tune, and probably fly it on 4S more often than not. So that's my experiment for today. So I know one thing. This is my little handy back scratcher. The Bardwell tune is STM32F411. That's from October of 2019. And mine is STM32F405. It's a different board, and I also think he probably used that Jazz Maverick or something, one of those, to get in the RPM filtering. Because if you look down here in his tune, or his CLI dump, you will see set the motor poles, and you don't see that unless you turn on the RPM filtering, I guess. And then there was a matter of this set S-Bus baud fast on, which I don't know if I copied that or not. I thought I copied some of these settings, and then I definitely copied all of these, just the PIDs. The last time I got out into the field, I still could not get the drone to arm, and I went into the goggle settings and turned off the baud rate fast and put it on normal, and then it armed. So I'm not an expert at all this CLI language, but anyway, the main thing I copied was Profile 0, these PIDs. I'll leave a link to this in the description, the entire CLI. And if you have that board, if you have the S411 board, Transtech F411, whereas I have a F405, then you could probably just copy this exactly. But there were some other weird things in his dump, like the gyro sensor alignment was clockwise 90. Things like that. All mine are set to 0. So I had to change that and stuff like that. And eventually I just redumped mine and just copied the PIDs and went with that. And then when I got to the field, I had to turn off that baud rate fast.